Good evening, everybody. Thank you for attending today's webinar. Today's webinar is about Anant University, the design program at Anant University. So happy that all of you all could make it here. Um, we have architect Nishita Kedia, who's a panelist representing Anant National University. And she's going to be talking a little bit about the college, and she's going to be able to answer questions from you as well. Okay. The format that we'll follow is like we've done before. She would give a small presentation, maybe about 15-20 minutes, or maximum about half an hour. And after that, we will open for questions. So please uh, keep keep your attention to what she has to say, and make a note of the questions you have during her talk, and you can uh, connect with her once the session starts. All right. I'm going to put my webcam on. So Nishita, good evening to you. Are you able to hear me? Are you there?
Yes. Hi, Dion. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for coming in today. Nishita, would you like to turn your cam on so that everyone can
Yes.
see you? Yeah.
Yes. Am I
All
visible?
right. Yes, you are. Thank you so much for coming here. Really
Yeah.
appreciate your time. So, would you like to start off? I would make you the presenter,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
and you can start off. Okay,
Yeah,
you can
sure.
share your screen.
Hello, everybody. It's really an amazing opportunity to be addressing to all of you. I'm representing Anant National University. I'm architect Nishita Kedia, working as an assistant professor with the School of Architecture. I'm also an architect by profession. I'll just give you a short glimpse about the university.
We want to be one of the top few universities.
Yeah, so Anant National University is based in Ahmedabad, in the area called Bhopal, which is a satellite area, and it is India's first design university. So before it became an independent university, it was working with the Gujarat University and were offering many courses. But now under its umbrella, we have a lot of PG and UG programs as well. So, Anant National University is spread across approximately 100 acres of in a lush green area. And currently, we're functioning from this academic building that you can see on on my screen. And here are a few, words from some of our board of governors and the provost. So I would just take you through this journey.
In the past, the urbanization of 150 million people has not been well planned, and as a result, our cities require enormous amount of help. As we looked around India, given the huge number of housing that has going to be constructed for India, and the unique habitats that have to be constructed, we have no university and we have no program that really thinks about sustainable habitats that are uniquely Indian and yet bring a global voice and global design talent to doing this.
Yeah, so like our board of governors just mentioned that the vision of Anand National University strongly believes in in the Indian roots and global standing, and it believes in nurturing solutionaries for the built environment, which is currently the most major challenge that the world is facing. So so that's about the vision of Anand.
We want to be one of the top few universities in India. We think there is still an opportunity for a new university to be built from scratch to become a top five university in this country. And that's the vision that we have. What we are saying is that we will take the whole concept of design and design thinking and make that the core of the university.
So that was a former provost of the university who was talking. So I'll just give you a short glimpse about some of the innovative pedagogies that Anant National University has. So it believes in the choice-based credit system, and it has a multidisciplinary curriculum. Since it's a design university, the courses offered at Anant National University are multidisciplinary in the sense that we have the Bachelor of Architecture course, and then we have the Bachelor of Design, which has various sub-specializations like the interaction design, product design, communication design, which I will talk about in detail in the next few slides. It also believes in experiential learning. So in the campus of Anant National University, we have a makerspace hub where you're not just learning virtually about things, but you're also experiencing, the make of all of your thought process in the makerspace. And at the same time, we also deal with a lot of real life projects, which are in collaboration with the government, with on a public partnership basis, and also in collaboration with various industries. So so basically to give a very practical approach to whatever you're learning at the university. So that's about some of our innovative pedagogies. Anant National University also has a lot of academic and industry collaborations. I already mentioned about some of the industry collaborations where we are working on real life projects. Apart from that, as far as the academic collaborations are concerned, we are tied up with the University of Pennsylvania, the University of Miami, the Bezalel Academy of Arts and Design, and currently we're working in close hands with the Sustain Labs Paris, where our students from the fellowship and from the UG and PG level, students are partnering with these leading global universities on various real life projects relating to sustainability. Like I already mentioned that Anant National University is located in a lush green campus. All those greens that you see towards the left are, are mango trees. We have a lake on one of the side, and yes. These are a list of some of our experienced faculty and experts. We have a range of experts coming in both nationally and internationally and highly acclaimed. We have Dr. Anant Chaube, who is the current provost of the university. He has also been the founding director for the Young India Fellowship, which is very famous. We have on our panel some leading designers like Mr. Amit Sheth, who's also the the Dean of Advancement. We have Ashima Banker, she's the Director of Master of Urban Design. Mr. Ratan Gangadhar. So all of these people, from diverse experiences, are all together working at Anant National University. We at Anand National University, we also have a lot of service units which are working towards collaboration and research projects. So one such service unit is the International Center for Inclusive Cultural Leadership, which is a think do tank, which is collaborated with various other universities and organizations, and is working with a focus on inclusivity and cultural leadership, and of course the intangible heritage of our country and the world. So these are some of the service units. We also have academic research and development, which is a service unit wherein the faculty members and the students also take up a lot of research projects, real life research projects, and also theoretical research projects, to sort of contribute to the world. These are some of our postgraduate programs: the Master in Integrated Product Design, Master of Urban Design. We have the Anand Fellowship, and Very recently, we've also, initiated a new fellowship, which is the Fellowship for Climate Action. These are some of our undergraduate programs. Like I said, one of the oldest and the most major program that we've been running so far was the Bachelor of Architecture, which is approved by the Council of Architecture, New Delhi. And in the Bachelor of Architecture, we have a diverse range of specializations, starting from fashion and textile design to communication design, product design, space design, interaction design, environmental design, and transdisciplinary design. So I'll just give you, since I understand that most of you are seeking and attending this webinar with the perspective of getting yourself admitted in the undergraduate programs. So I'll just give you a brief about what these various, range of specializations look into. So the fashion and textile design is, of course, a design thinking and creative problem solving, platform in the field of design and textile. It is also looking at fashion with an integration of technology, with an inclusion of social and environmental imperatives. So it is looking at looking very closely at sustainable fashion. So then we have the transdisciplinary design. The transdisciplinary design is basically somewhere where you can choose courses from all the other specializations. So you're not just specializing in space design or product design, but you're taking up courses from across these design disciplines. So that's about the transdisciplinary design. Then we're talking about the environmental design. In environmental design, you're looking at addressing the surrounding environmental parameters. Along with addressing the philosophies of not just architecture or interior design, but it also looks at the geography, it looks at climatology, eco-movement, and sustainability. Then we are looking at then we look at another course, which is product design. So product design is a very famous course, which is wherein a lot of universities are offering. But at Anant National University, it trains students to design products that meets the real-time needs of people, and it emphasizes on the aesthetic appeal. And of course, trains you with the technical functionality, where I already mentioned in the innovative pedagogies that we have the maker space in the university, where whatever is your thought process, we make it possible for you to experiment in real time. So that's about the product design course. Space design is a very similar course to interior design, where you're not it is a little different from architecture, where you're dealing with architecture for both space and the surroundings. But in interior design or space design, you're dealing with internal spaces ranging from retail hubs to residences to corporate houses, which includes a lot of technical teaching in furniture design, lighting design, environmental perceptions, anthropometrics, and a lot of them. And then you have communication design. Communication design is another program that incorporates the principle of visual communication. And we all know that, especially at this time of the pandemic, that, how important is visual communication. So it incorporates the principles of visual communication and dynamic interactions. And it prepares the students to work across a range of domains and industries, starting from graphic design, advertising, branding, and illustrations. So yes, so this is a little brief about some of our Bachelor of Design courses. You can shoot questions to me in case you have any. Oh, I think somehow something went wrong in the presentation.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, I see his hand. Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
This is the Anant Maker space, where we have laser cut machines, we have wooden tools and machinery which helps you make these wooden products. Yeah, so this was about a maker space that I was talking about, where anything that you think comes to real life. So I'll go next. Yeah, I think that's all about Anant National University. If any of you have any questions about the courses or the university, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
All right, thank you. Fantastic. I think that was pretty interesting. Um, right. So some questions coming in, and right. So Ria Bose, okay. Is it 100% sure that we get the hostel facilities? Could you let us know about the hostel?
Okay. So Anand National because the university is fairly very new, we have a lot of construction work happening in the university right now. So we have the boys and the girls hostel with 300 capacity, which is already under construction. But meanwhile, since the hostels are under construction, we have outsourced, certain apartments where we are running the hostel facility from right now. And to consider the privacy and the security of the students, so those apartments are entirely taken on lease by the university, and the university takes care of transportation from the hostels to the university and university back to the hostels. So all those details are taken care of. But we are hoping that from 2020 or maximum by the beginning of 2021, we'll be able to start with the hostel facilities in campus. Hi,
Awesome.
Rutu.
Awesome. So just to let everyone know here, we have Rutu Shah over here as well. So Rutu
Hi
Shah
guys.
also represents Anant National University. Rutu, could you please give a brief background about what you do with Anant?
Right. Hi everyone. My name is Rutu, like Dion explained. I'm the marketing manager at Anant National University. I've joined them a month ago, just before we went down on lockdown. I help with coordinate marketing activities as well as the admission activities at Anant National University. So if you have questions related to the fee structure, questions related to the hostel, questions related to what the culture is like at the university, etc. I can help you with those questions.
Fantastic.
And to give you a little background about myself, I am a young India fellow. I have been associated with the culture that Anant National University is trying to promote via Ashoka University. I'm also a journalist, so I have been part of the media background so far, and I'm thrilled to be part of the Anand National University team because it's one of the more liberal spaces in Ahmedabad that is opening up.
All right. All right. Damn cool. Right. So we have a question, some more questions coming in. In which year will your first batch pass out, or has the first batch already passed out? A question from Ananya Jain.
Okay, I take that question. Like I said that, because before Anant National University became an independent university, so that way, if you see, when it was the Anand Institute of Architecture and the Anand Institute of Design, we already have 3 batches of, architecture who have passed out, and 2 batches of design, interior design, who've already passed out. As far as the Anant National University is concerned, the next year would be the first, first graduation batch of Anant National University.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
We have a question from Abhisha Soons. She was not able to make it here, but she sent me a message and said, please ask them about this question. It's about the transdisciplinary course, you know. What exactly is this transdisciplinary course, and what happens at the end of it? What kind of a specialization? Where do these students who graduate? Where can they work?
Okay. Like I mentioned about the vision of the university, that it looks into nurturing solutionaries for the built environment. So the transdisciplinary course is a course which has been designed basically to prepare and empower solutionaries to be working in any discipline of the built habitat, to basically implement sustainable solutions. So because all the other sub courses, the sub specializations of the Bachelor of Design looks into a lot of sort of the course is being designed to empower students with more sustainable solutions. So the transdisciplinary course is basically one course where you're not confined to choosing a particular specialization, but out of those variety of specializations, you can choose that what are the courses that you want to learn. If you're very clear about your perspective, that what do you want to do out there for the built habitat as a solutionary.
Awesome. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
And also to just mention that there's a very unique pedagogy that Anant National University has. As a student of Anant National University, when you're enrolling yourself in the first year, you are not a student of a product the specialization of product design or interaction design or architecture. It's a common foundation course where students are nurtured through various means on various modules, and they give you a picture of what you are, who you are, and what exactly do you want to pursue for almost a grilling of a year, and then they let you choose what discipline do you really want to get yourself into.
All right. There's a question from Tejaswini. She's
Okay.
applied for the university and
All right.
she's writing the exam on the 25th of April. But how is it really going to be conducted? She's not very clear about that. Could you elaborate, please?
Right. I can take that question, Nishita, if you like. Okay. So the online exam is going to be of 1.5 hours of duration. It's a written exam, so you'll be asked questions related to design and a little bit of background around your specialization. So it will be in form of MCQ, short answers, essays, etc. The part where you show your creative skills and your presentation skills will be after the entrance exam. So we'll ask you to share a portfolio of yours with 15 or so works. We'll also be asking you to design a solution based on a problem, and you can incorporate a design of sorts into your portfolio, which you will be sharing with us if you pass the entrance exam. And post that, we'll be conducting an interview where, with a panel who will be asking you questions pertaining to your background, pertaining to your education, pertaining to your interests and portfolio. So that's the structure of the online entrance exam.
All right.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah, so Tejaswini, you probably need to tell us if that was clear, or you'd require more clarification on that. Okay. Question from Anjali Girish. I'm an art student. Will I be able to manage the mathematics involved in the design curriculum of the program? I think that
Nishita,
question is for Nishita.
Nishita, yeah.
Can I mean, so that I exactly answer the question, can you please repeat the question once again, Dion?
Yeah, so Anjali Girish says that she's an art student. Okay.
Okay.
She's wondering whether she can manage the mathematics involved in the design curriculum.
Okay. So I think when I was studying architecture and had in fact decided that I want to be an architect, the most the first fear that I had was that would architecture involve physics and mathematics? And I think when I was given this answer, and when I did a lot of my own reading, that architecture is a very creative field. There's no physics and sciences and mathematics. I was really thrilled, and that's when I decided that I want to do architecture. So, but then I think it's really not important that whether you like mathematics as a subject or not. I think what any discipline desires is just common sense and a lot of passion to work. So the discipline of architecture, or if you're looking at the discipline of any of the specializations in design, I think what matters most is how passionate you are about the subject, and how much of your own common sense is what you apply. So I think it's absolutely fine to be thinking of those questions, but I think you can always take it otherwise.
All right, fantastic. Um, so Shridula Balaji, your question is, do we get a B.Des degree? The answer is yes. They are a university and they do give a B.Des degree. Couple of questions from Sanjana Anjan, and this is probably either of you could take this. Can you give us a little idea about the structure, the number of seats available for each course, and do you offer any scholarships? So before that, what is the fee for the design program?
Right. So I can take that question.
Yeah.
For the Bachelor of Design program, the fee structure, so the annual fee is close to 1,75,000, of which we ask for a provisional admission acceptance fee, which is for rupees 45,000. And the semester one fees is rupees 42,500, and the semester two fees is rupees 87,500. This is for the Bachelor of Design program. If you want to know more details about this, you can visit our admissions page section, and there's a fees and financial aid section where you can get these details. With respect to scholarships, yes, we provide need-based scholarships. We also provide scholarships to those students who have given the UCEED exams and achieved rankings in the exams. The variables of scholarship differs from year to year. So depending on what rank you are in, we give you a scholarship or financial aid. So details about this will become more clear as the time passes by. You share with us what rankings you have and what needs you have after taking your admission, and we will be able to provide you with more details related to scholarship.
All right. I think of all the institutes that I've interacted with, I think the fee of Anant is pretty reasonable by itself without the scholarship.
Yeah.
And a couple of our students have also got 100% scholarship, and that was pretty cool this year. Right. The next question is from Andrew Brito. So Andrew is asking, is it possible to change your discipline or specialization after admission? Or rather, at what point of time do you select your specialization? At what point can you change?
Okay, so I'll take that question, Ritu. Like I already mentioned, that Anand has this very innovative pedagogy where, when you are enrolled into the graduation program, the first year is entirely a common program which everybody takes. Every student who's enrolled for UG takes it. So the first year is a foundation program which is common to all. By the time you're ending the foundation program, because you're also given a glimpse of what each of these subspecialization has to offer, you are asked to choose your area of specialization. And we've also had cases that if suppose a student has taken up the specialization of space design, but later realizes that maybe his or her interest lies in product design, there is a possibility that you could switch from one stream to another. I think that's possible until the second year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um, the next thing, a couple of questions regarding the admissions. One from Ahona Mukherjee. Uh, Ahona is saying she's taken the interview last week,
Okay.
okay, and submitted the portfolio. Um,
Right.
she's one of those who's been offered 100% scholarship. So she just needs
Brilliant.
clarification as to what does that mean, 100% scholarship, number one, and when
Hmm.
can she expect the results to that?
Okay. With respect to the results, I believe she will be she can expect the results in the coming week, 2 or 3 weeks it would take to get a final results out, because we're also in the midst of conducting our second round of entrance exams. Uh, I don't think the 100% scholarship entails the hostel fees. So hostel fees is something that comes separate to the academic fees. So the hostel fee structure is also available on the website on the fees and the financial aid section. Details from which she can also request from the admission team when gets her offer letter. So the admission team will be able to provide her the exact breakup of how much fee she has to provide
All
for
right,
the academic year. Yeah.
all right. One second, I've got a question um, from Gayatri Rajiv. What
Okay.
they've already taken admissions, but what is the eligibility for the scholarship in the first place?
Right. So we provide need-based scholarships and we provide merit-based scholarships. Need-based scholarships, for that you would have to give us proof about the income of your family, the exact requirement for a scholarship, etc. These are pretty standard policies that a lot of universities follow these days for students who can't provide the entire academic fee. But the merit-based scholarship has a few caveats to that. For example, the UCEED exam, like I was mentioning earlier, the students who have applied for the IIT Bombay UCEED exam and have achieved a certain ranking, they are eligible to scholarships from close to 25% to 100%. So again, the people who have achieved a ranking of, say, in the first 1,000 ranks of the UC, they get 100% scholarship, and so on and so forth. So merit-based scholarship is also again subjected to your personal requirement and your personal achievements. So when you are applying for the Anant National Fellowship entrance exam, you mentioned whether you require a scholarship or not, and based on your specific requirement, the admission scheme will get back to you about your eligibility criteria.
Okay, so that happens at the time of admission of application itself, right? The
Yeah,
merit-based
within
scholarship.
within application, I suppose there's a stage where you declare that you need scholarships as well, and based on that, during the admissions process, that will be reasoned out better.
All right, all right. Um, Hold on, a few more questions. What is the, okay, now this is regarding with the admission. Okay, so there's a question from Ria Bose. What is the extended date for admission for students already selected in the first cycle? Do you all have any idea of that? Those are the admission date.
Sorry, can you come back from that? I didn't get the question.
So Ria Bose is asking, what is the extended date for admission for students
Okay.
already selected in the first cycle?
Uh, Extended date for admission.
So maybe, so Ria, could you please elaborate on that? Are you asking that now because of the lockdown, the date of admission is extended, or do you have a, or Rutu, do you all have a date where they're supposed to join as of now, as per plan? When do the classes
Mm,
start?
no, we don't have a plan on that yet in place, because a lot of universities are struggling with trying to understand when exactly the COVID situation is going to subside. So we'll be making an announcement about this as soon as we get some clarity on what the lockdown plan is also after the 2nd of May. But I believe we will be starting
Yeah.
alongside most universities in the country. Uh, again, it also depends on whether the city of Ahmedabad itself is more or less affected by the COVID virus. So at this stage, so there are certain spots in the country which are declared hot, and Ahmedabad is one of those spots. So if the situation becomes worse, we might have to stay in lockdown for a longer period of time than a city like, say, Bangalore, which could probably not be in the hot zone. So we can't give you an answer to this question as of now, but as soon as the situation becomes clearer, we'll be putting out announcements on the university website, as well as giving a sort of an announcement to the students who have taken admission within the university.
Okay, okay. Um, Couple of more questions from Shridula Balaji. She had missed the first exam that happened, I think, in January uh, because
Mhm.
of a board exams
Right.
clashing with the board exam. So they've resubmitted the application for the 25th of April. So that's okay. She can take the same application form for the 25th, is it? Or
Absolutely.
does she have
She
to apply?
if she has already filled the application form, has she received any SMS or email, communicating the revised the second entrance exam to her? Has she been receiving any messages from our end?
We'll have to find out. Okay, Shridula, you'll have to let us know. Um,
Yeah. If she
so,
hasn't, in the case that she hasn't, probably also she might want to resubmit the application form, and because she'll also be getting a unique registration ID from our end, which she has to submit to give the exam. So if she hasn't done that yet, and if she hasn't received that yet, it would be ideal to do it in the next 2 days, because tomorrow is also the last day of the application for the second round of
all,
entrance exam.
all right, all right. So the question from Mr. Sanjay Gandhi. Um, we've received a call of about 75% scholarship. However, we've not yet received an email. So,
Okay.
have the emails gone out, or can they expect a email regarding this?
So, Sanjay, you can expect an email from our in the next 1 week or so. If you have received a call regarding the scholarship, I believe the admission team is working on sending you the email as soon as possible.
All right. Um, Question from Amrita Arora. If I have a UC rank, do I still need to apply for the design entrance test, the part one?
Right. So, depends on the ranking. So, for example, the students who have achieved a ranking of, say, between 1 to 1200, you don't have to sit for the entrance exam. But the students who are beyond 1200 of ranking, they have to sit for the entrance exam and have to uh, go through the same procedure as the students would go through for the admissions at Anant National University. However, you will be eligible for scholarship. So, if you rank between, say, 1201 to 2000, then you are eligible for 75% merit-based scholarship. And if you rank between 2001 to 3000, then you are eligible for 50% merit-based scholarship. So only the students who have ranked between 1 and 1200, they don't have to give the entrance exam, but they do also have to go through an interview round.
All right. All right. Okay. Um, so yeah, so interesting that I mean the interview round I think is pretty interesting, and that's where the college wants to get to know every student who's coming there, know what
That's
they
right.
want, and so you need to have a good clear vision for that why you want to join Anand. But
Yeah.
Madesh Raju is asking, what kind of portfolio would you look for interaction design? What needs to be there in a portfolio? Does the portfolio need to be specific to the specialization they're applying for, or is a general portfolio okay? And if it's a general portfolio, what kind of work are you all expecting?
Nishita, would you like to take this question?
I think so because I've been panel for a very long time, when they're interviewing students and getting to see their portfolios. I think we do not look at these students with the perspective of a specialization, because we expect that when a student is in the 12th grade, he or she may still take some time to sort of realize or understand that what each course offers. So when we're looking at their portfolios, I think what we're only looking at is I think their skills, what kind of skill sets they possess, and I think we also to see a little bit of their perspective on empathy, on their observation skills, and I mean very basic things, I would say. But yeah, it's more skill based that we try to look upon, but it's not with the perspective of a particular specialization.
All right.
Also,
So,
the students
Manish,
get to choose the specialization during the foundation courses, so you also get a better clarity as to which course you want to opt for. So we don't exactly look for those
Yeah.
things in the portfolio. Portfolio is mostly to understand your creativity and understand your perspective.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of times it has happened that a student joined Anant with the perspective of joining product design course as a specialization, but by the end of the foundation year, he or she realizes that maybe product design is something that they want to really pursue, but maybe interact transdisciplinary design. So there have been a lot of such cases also. So I think that is one of the unique features that Anant offers its students.
Yeah.
okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Um, right. So, a couple of more questions. One is regarding a question from Sanjana Anjan. What is the approximate hostel fee and mess fees, and the additional expenses other than the tuition fee? How much does that work out to?
So the hostel fees at the point is being discussed. So additional to the academic fees, the hostel fees come up to around rupees 75,000 per year annually. This would include the food, the transportation from the hostel to the university as well. So students who have opted for the hostel for during their time at Anant National University, that's the rough amount that they would have to pay. 72,000 to 500.
All right,
And
all right.
this is um, let me explain this better. So when you get confirmation for the admission, you will be paying rupees 72,500, and at the commencement of the spring semester, you will have to pay an additional 72,500. So your hostel and mess charges would incorporate the food, the living accommodation, and the transport.
Okay, okay, awesome. Um, Now, a couple of questions from Mr. Senthil Kumar, okay, and uh, and also Ananya Jain, okay. And their question is, from the batches which have passed out already, what has been the typical placement like, and what kind of placements have they got? What has been the placement salaries? I know that as Anant University, you've not had a single batch that passed out, but the previous batch of students.
Yeah,
I'll take the question.
yeah,
Because Anant National University offers courses in architecture and design. Architecture and design are both very creative fields where you have your own develop your own perspective, and you basically develop yourself into creative person. So you're a creator. Architecture and the field of design both, it is very rare that you actually look out for placements. Although we have tied with a lot of industries and a lot of real estate, we've had placements also because of a panel of board of governors. So we have placements with the Piramal Group, with the Cadilla Group, and of course with a lot of architects and based in Ahmedabad. As a designer or an architect, you really don't look forward to be working under somebody else, but to be starting or creating something of your own. So if you
All
see
right.
a graph of place, any design college or an architecture college, it is never going to be comparable to a university which offers you courses in management or engineering.
All right. All right. The line did break up in between, so we did not hear you very clearly in between. But if I can summarize, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So what you said is that placements in general for creative programs, it's design or architecture, is not really something that students focus on at the time of joining. Probably at the time of graduating,
Yes.
they would be more inclined towards finding something by themselves and looking for opportunities by themselves
Yes.
rather than depending on the college to do that for them.
Okay. Extending to the conversation, I would also students on the work generally do certain workshops so that the and that way if I a student work with a particular architect, so as a designer you develop your own ideology and your own philosophy, right? So if the philosophy and ideology of a student who is a designer does not match with the placement opportunity that I have out to, the student would never take up that work. To sort of let us enhance their portfolio and their other skills, we do organize a lot of workshops and other programs. And we do have places with various industries. We've seen that the ratio of those placements are pretty much less, like I said, in comparison to management and engineering courses.
All
If I
right.
may
I
add
think,
to that, no, I
yeah,
just would like to add something to this.
sure.
So the way I understand design curriculums or design courses, they don't have the same rigid structures that MBS offer, etc. So here in Anant National University, we also try to encourage the culture of networking. So the university itself has a close network associated with Ashoka University and various other universities outside of the country. And we have few fellowship programs which also boast of alumni networks, which support this kind of structure where students can reach out to the kind of companies that they would be interested in working with. So we encourage students to apply themselves and find the places that they would like to work at and encourage them in that direction. Additionally, we also have a lot of partners within the city. So Ahmedabad itself is a design hub of sorts. We have a lot of textile design outfits. We have because of NID and stuff, we also have a lot of other startups in the city, which are always looking for talented people. So uh, there are there are a lot of design opportunities within the city, and through the network, there are a lot of opportunities for students to explore and not just fall into the rigid structure of finding one organization to work with after the program.
All right. I think that's fair enough. Right. So we're coming down to our last few questions. Um, some Prashant Rupa that so they had missed the first exam cycle itself. Okay, as in they got through, but they didn't pay the fees in the first exam cycle. Is their application still valid? Can they pay the fees now if they'd like to, or do they need to answer the exam again on the 25th of April?
Did they get through the entrance exam, the
Yes,
interview round, and then receive the confirmation that they have gotten through the admission?
I'm guessing yes, because they said we have already gotten admission in the first cycle, but didn't pay the fees by the end date. So,
Right. So maybe he can write a mail to the admissions ID again and request them to look into his case. He can explain, the reasons why he wants to apply to the university and how he missed the opportunity for the fees, and explain his case. The admissions team will get back to him with a response.
All right, cool. And yeah, similar situation for Ria. Ria was supposed to be there on the 2nd of April, but of course, due to reasons we know, she was not able to make it. So, Ria, I think the same answer applies to you. Please write an
Yes.
email to the admissions department, and that should be good enough. Okay, you
Yeah, they
will get
must
it.
have the email ID if they must have received an email from a certain admissions ID. They can write to them on the same ID. If not, then you can request us. We can pass on your queries to the admissions team as well.
All right. Because I have a message from Tejaswini as well. She tried contacting the number given on the website a few times, but the calls went unanswered. So if you can give
Yeah.
us, so can I share your phone number with the group, Rutu,
Um,
or is there another
uh,
common number that we can share?
yeah, no, there is another line for the admissions cell as well. So I will be sharing that number with yourself, and then you can share the number with the students because the queries would be related to admissions. So
Right,
I
right.
would I might not be able to answer all the queries.
Sure.
So I'll be sharing a
If
number
you
with you.
if you can share it right away, I can type it in right now and everybody would get the message.
Um, okay, so maybe sorry, Dion, I really need to get back to you on this because so far we've
No,
been having the landlines are in the
yes,
university, so those
yes.
don't get rerouted to the mobiles as of yet. So what is the situation look like right now? I'll have to confirm that and get back to you.
All right, all right. Um, just one second. There's another question.
Okay.
Um, right. So there's a question from one of the parents here. How do your how does your program, the program from Anand, compare with other institutions like NIDs or other private schools? Okay, what is really the differentiator? Okay, what is the qualitative differentiator from the students graduating from Anand versus students graduating from other private schools?
Right. So I think Nishita should take this question, and I can add to that response because she has
Yeah.
been associated with the university for the past 2 years, and she has been very key to producing the right culture for Anant National University, so that students get an experience which is very different from that in NID, UID.
All right, go ahead, Nish.
I think, yeah. When you're stating examples like NID and maybe we have to the architecture, CEPT University, which are considered as the meccas for designers and architects. So initially when I was joining Anand, I was also very hesitant because it was a very new university. But since I've been a part of this university for the last 3 years, I think what makes Anant National University stand apart from other universities is the vision of the university that I shared. That it really believes in the Indian roots and global standing. A lot of institutions in the university wherein we really encourage students because today is a culture when you graduate from India and then you move out to other countries and then you serve, you're serving countries and working your own place. So at Anand, we develop a culture where nurtured to working for their own homeland, and to nurture them into solutionaries to work towards the built habitat or the built environment for their own country. So this is one culture that I really think sets Anant National University apart from other universities here.
So to
And
build on to
its
that,
range of courses. Yeah.
yeah. So what Nishita was also, yeah, so definitely the courses that we offer are quite unique to the universities that offer these courses. But to add on to that, the with aspects of the culture as well. So like Nishita explained earlier, that we offer fellowship programs like the Fellowship for Climate Action and the Anand Fellowship. So what the landscape of the university culture is also changing in the country now. NID, all of these universities, they provide uh, great programs and great opportunities for students, but also the structure is very skill based. So it sort of does not give each student the opportunity to reach their fullest potential, because it's also very rigid in terms of your skill set and repertoire, etc. So at Anant National University, because we also offer programs which are very flexible, like the fellowship programs, and we boast a culture which probes each student to think about sustainability. So that is our greatest USP as well. We are building a university where each student is going to think about building a sustainable future for the future generations, and think about problems related to climate change. So if your kid is interested in these issues and wants to work towards a future which is climate friendly and wants to work towards a future which is sustainable, Anand National University is the right place to go, because this is exactly the focus of all of our programs, whether it's the design program, the architecture program, the fellowship programs, etc. So right from the leadership level to the student level, everybody is extremely engrossed in discussing this issue.
All right, fantastic. I hope that's answered your question, madam. Um, and then finally, there's a question from Tejaswini. Uh, the sample paper, which is online on the website, now that the test has gone from an offline test to an online format, the sample paper will still be representative of the online test, right? Or
Yeah,
is it going to change? Yeah.
it will be representative. Yes.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. Right. I don't see any more questions coming in. I'm sorry, my sorry about that. Right. So I don't see any more questions coming in, but thank you all so much for participating. It's been very insightful to get this information. I'm sure it's pretty useful for all of our parents who are looking to take admissions at Anant National University. Um, what you can do is I will share the application form the link to the application form on this group. So those who have not applied yet can definitely apply. Those who have applied and are having issues, please connect with me. And if you have applied and not yet, even if you don't have issues, just let me know so that I can just communicate with the team
Yeah.
at Anand, and we can do that. And also, Rutu, from your side, I look forward to the phone number being shared so
Yes.
that our
Yes.
students can connect with you. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much once
Well,
again.
great
Thank you,
interacting with, yes. All the best with all of your entrance exams. It was great interacting with you all. Great
Thank you.
questions.
And one
Thank you,
more
Dion,
thing.
for facilitating.
No problem. Thank you, Rutu. I think when is the last date to apply for the 25th cycle, for the 25th exam?
It's
April
20,
20.
it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the last day.
Oh, tomorrow is the last day. Okay. So
Yeah.
those who have not
Yeah.
applied yet, I'm sharing the link in the group right away.
Yes.
Please
Stop,
apply
stop.
immediately. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye
Thank you,
bye.
Nishita. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. See you.